So, this week saw the first part of the FPS's war, or whatever, reveals. Starting off with the reveal of Black Ops 4. A full sort of hour-long press conference style thing. The big reveals out of it, the confirmation that there is no single player. Instead, what you're getting is pretty much multiplayer. The return of the Pick 10 system and all that. Adjustments to sort of various things. There's health bars now all of a sudden, which is a bit different and, getting used to, but it's sort of interesting. But the idea is you'll be playing as specialists, so you'll be playing... You can play as a customized character, but then they're in certain classes, which they call specialists, which have certain features. The idea of which is they're going to be taking these specialists and doing sort of tutorial things to give you sort of an idea of what they can do, which is, from what I can tell, the equivalent of single player. To some extent. They in a statement that they did to Eurogamer, or an interview I should say, they basically said there was never really a traditional campaign. And it says we see more and more players spending more time with multiplayers and zombies, not just in the game but out of the game, streaming and talking about it in forums. This is the sort of thing that makes me lose interest. It generated a really huge crowd response, probably, but it's really interesting that sort of the way that they're going into it, and the questions asked about, there's those that love the traditional campaigns in the Call of Duty, and the Black Ops ones for the last 3 games, just in the Black Ops series, have actually been sort of interested and said, and the statement back was, look, we've never let you down. We're always going to deliver the best experiences. We're delivering so much more of what players spend most of their time doing. From the multiplayer, with the way we're going much deeper into validating new play styles, so anybody can pick up the game and play it and feel like they can have fun. The zombies having the biggest content delivery we've ever had to game launch. The brand new Blackout mode, which is inspired by the Battle Royale genre, but done in our own unique way. We'll get back to that, because that was like the big thing. It was like, Blackout! And they pretty much showed nothing from it. Which means they're either going to have a showcase of it at E3, or it's that much been sort of hastily added in that this could be an interesting development. And I love the fact they're saying Fortnite and PUBG are the ones that actually caused the rise of the Battle Royale genre. Despite the fact that arguably DayZ did it years before, H1Z1 did it years before, the Culling did it, and that just, fell off and went into development hell and whatever, and pretty much all but gone now. But there's quite a lot of these sort of survival sort of games out. It wasn't just PUBG and Fortnite. And keep in mind, Fortnite wasn't even a Battle Royale game. but added features in and made it pretty good. So it's brilliant, you know. It's like you're introducing modes for people that do want to play solo. What can they do? And the very first words that Dan Bunting, the PR man, comes out with is in multiplayer. The question was about solo play, what can they do? And then stressing in multiplayer. What in multiplayer is there's a series of solo missions that take you deeper into understanding each of the specialists that you're going to play in multiplayer. I'm not, though. I've played on the show floor of various... I've played on the show floor for every Call of Duty game probably since Black Ops 2, come to think of it. Or no, it would have been Ghosts, I think, actually. It would have been Ghosts at the launch of the PS4. And, you know, I've played it every year. I'll probably play it when it comes around in September. When it comes to the main game, I'll wait till it's cheap, like the one that I got about a month ago. It's okay, it's Infinite Warfare and it's months behind, but it's all the content with the Season Pass, so I don't have to bother paying over the top for it. I mean, okay, it was £40 and whatever, which, you know, I will admit is still a bit pricey. But considering that's probably how much the Season Pass is, and Activision and Call of Duty never goes down in price because they know it's too much of a money draw. But it's like, it's saying it's going to give you backstory and world-building setup of why do the characters exist, who do they work for, what kind of operations do they run on. That seems a little bit sort of less like they've made these into sort of solo experiences. It's okay to those people that want to play on their own. And then, of course, the zombie stuff. There's 3 maps, one of which is inspired by one of the classic ones. Trying to remember what it's called. Where is it? Blood of the Dead. Blood of the Dead, by the looks of it, even though you're playing, I mean, the characters don't look entirely like the ones. So the ones that are coming out at launch, the first one was called 9, as in IX in Roman numerals, where you're going to be, that zombies map, you're going to be, at least from the way they presented it in the trailer, going to be fighting gladiatorial combat style, as in not with guns. It's a risky thing for a franchise that's sort of all about guns to say no guns. Voyage of Despair, which was the second one that they showed, was basically you on board the Titanic. Crazy shit. And then Mob of the Dead, that's it. Which I think was the one from, it was from Black Ops 1. And I think that was the one set in Alcatraz. Yeah, I'm right. Just trying to see if the trying to remember who was in it that did the voices. Mob of the Dead voices. Because it was a big-ass name. There we go. Chaz Palminteri was Sal. Ray Liotta was Billy Hanson. Michael Madsen was Michael Finn O'Leary. Nolan North was in it as one of the sort of various other voices. Joe Pantoliano was in it. But from what I can tell from the shot that they showed in the trailer, which was just basically a teaser and nothing else, it seems to be you're travelling back to that map, but you're not playing as them. Which, you know, we'll see. But if you're not and the thing is, they're trying to say, oh, it's solo, so you can set it so it's sort of different, and you've got AI partners. The AI had better be good, because if it's bad and it's going to be implemented in this game, you're going to have the people that do play solo not entirely happy. And then this Battle Royale. They aren't saying numbers. They're saying it's multiples higher than the highest that they've ever done, which I think is 32. I think that's the biggest that they've done, 16 on 16, from what I remember. So it might be 24 on 24, I'm not sure. So I'm guessing we're sort of talking high two figures, possibly even as many as 100. We'll have to see. But yeah, it's... The idea, though, is that they're trying to do it sort of... They're trying to incorporate Black Ops maps that are well liked in sort of one hybrid sort of crazy area. So there's going to be sort of like urban complexes, there's going to be jungle bits, there's going to be zombies bits, you know, Nuketown sort of bits, all that sort of stuff. Which again, I'm a bit worried as to how that's going to sort of work out. And then, you know, is it going to be a case of that people are just going to sort of, that aren't that good at BR sort of stuff, are going to sort of get put in the deep end, because as long as people sort of have the right guns immediately that are really good at the stuff, whether they be Battle Royale sort of experts or not, or just Call of Duty experts, are people just going to just sort of be waiting and whatever and just get stuck? And then stressing as well about vehicles being in it. And then again, the questioning is, how exactly will it work? And the response was land, sea and air. It's like, well, we sort of figured that out. It's brilliant. How will it work, these, you know, vehicles? And the person goes, oh, trains, planes and automobiles. Like, that doesn't explain the question. I know they sort of touch on it further about Treyarch having long history with vehicles. Which, when you think about it, as it says, Treyarch, and as he says, Treyarch have been doing sort of vehicle bits in their games since, for the first Call of Duty through to World at War. But after that, they really didn't have vehicle stuff in. So again, if they don't get this right in terms of vehicles, we're going to have another problem on our hands. So, considering the rumours that there's a Battle Royale coming to Battlefield 5, but apparently there's multiplayer and a single-player story. Partly I'm also thinking whether they aren't doing a single-player story because they've got burned too many times by, you know, Spacey and that awkward shit as it is now, and Infinite Warfare's Kit Harington, which sort of was meh, and then World War II, which was just a little too sort of corridor shooty, like the old school games. I mean, it was, you know, it was sort of refreshing to go back to it. But I think tweaks here and there, and you could have had a good single player thing. Especially because those have been the interesting stories. You know, the Black Ops 1 story and where it goes in the Cold War and everything is a very interesting one. You know, and of course the infamous Zombies map, which started it all to some extent from Black Ops, with what, Nixon and Kennedy and co. teaming up to take down the zombies that are trying to obliterate the White House. You know, completely left field, wacky sort of deal, and it's like, it just, we'll see. Not as long to wait as it has been in previous times, because due to the Red Dead release in November, they're moving Call of Duty up to October 12th. That'll be interesting to see what shifts, what moves around, whether we'll still be getting Battlefield before Call of Duty with an earlier release, or whether Call of Duty will get the jump and they'll try and go for EA will try and go for a later October release. We'll have to see. More E3 sort of talk. I will probably be doing a video at some point over the next week or so, covering the Battlefield 5 reveal with Trevor Noah and all that, so check out that over here, hopefully, later on this week. Check out all the other content as well, here on the Podcast Network. We got food stuff, we got gaming stuff, as you can probably tell by this video. We've got movies, we've got wrestling, we've got HHN, we've got all loads of things for you to check out down there and on the channel, which you can subscribe to if you like. You can like and dislike if you like. I said like too many times. Yeah, that's the way it ends. If you get the running trend of this, you know that this is how sort of it ends, because I never know how to end these things. So I just go into a, yeah, thanks for watching, and look awkward. And then I press stop.